Followers, the very little that I have. So this is Cindy. I am actually doing a review on the movie Get Out. First and foremost, I'm about to cuss a lot. So what I'm going to do is apologize in advance for all the cuss words. But that movie is so fucking awesome. So I took myself out tonight to look at the movie. Thinking that it wasn't that bad and everything, and that I didn't have anything to be afraid of. So it's not that scary, but it makes you think. So I take myself out to the movies. Legit, there were only 3 black people in the audience, and 150 seats were filled. So there were no seats in the theater. So the movie starts, and it starts with a black guy being kidnapped, and then it shows this guy who is with his girlfriend, who's a white girl, and she's taking him to meet her family. And it seems like the white girl's not in on it. So she takes him to meet his family, and his family is just a little bit off. And all of their servants are black servants, right? And it seems like she doesn't know what's going on. However, so it gets further and further into the movie, and he's getting to know them, and he comes across this guy that he knew from when he lived in New York, which was a few months before, that had gone missing 6 months before, but he wasn't himself. He was acting like somebody else. So what happened is, so he took a picture of him, and then when he took a picture of him, he freaked out, and he was like, get out, trying to warn him to get out, right? So after that, the family grabs him and they brainwash him, which started to scare me. And so the black guy is trying to figure out what's going on, because there's the black servants who he's talking to them, but they don't seem themselves. They seem like they're stuck in the 1950s, in a cycle that's going around and around. They don't seem like modern black people. And so when he takes the picture, and dude freaks out, and then they disappear in a room to brainwash him for a minute, and he comes back out, and he's just apologizing, and he's not himself. By the way, this dude was at a party where he was with a woman who was 3 times his age. It was disgusting. Anyway, it gets further and further in the movie, and you find out that this family is a family of sociopaths. So the grandfather was in the Olympics with Hitler, and the black dude who won the I think it was 1,000-meter dash. And so since then, the grandpa has had a grudge, and this was 1936. So since 1936, this family has been kidnapping black people, brainwashing them, and then doing surgery where they're removing part of the brain that, with the brainwashing, they're making the black people a passenger in their body, and then they're removing the part of the brain that gives them control, and then they take this Caucasian a person who wants the attributes of this black person, and they legit look for these high black people, and then they take the brain and they put it in them. So it goes on and on in this movie. And then the black guy that's with the white girl, that is his girlfriend, that he went to visit the family, is freaking out, and he's realizing that the maid is brainwashed. The gardener's brainwashed. He goes out in the middle of the night to have a cigarette, and this dude is just running full on, and then hits a right. And then the black girl is just standing there. Anyway, so he notices that they're brainwashed, and so he tries to get out. So he packs his stuff and he tells his girlfriend, come on, let's get out. Your family's weird. Because the mom brainwashed him the night before when he went to have a cigarette. And so when she brainwashed him, he's like, let's get out. And he's got his bags, and he's like, babe, where's the keys? And she's acting like she can't find it. And you don't think she's part of it. You just think she's realizing her family's fucking nuts. But she is part of it. She's like, I don't know where the keys. So let's stop right there real quick. So I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. So in that theater, there's 3 black people, and there's 150 white people. So while this is happening, and it gets further and further into the movie, and you see that they're brainwashed, they're kidnapping black people, brainwashing them, and then doing illegal surgery and taking their place, I'm sitting there in shock the further it gets. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, what the fuck? The whole time, all the white people next to me are like, oh, that's so interesting. I wonder if they've tried that. I literally stopped and looked at them like, bitch, do you not see a black person sitting right next to you? I should throat punch you. Have you lost your fucking mind? The whole time, everybody's like, oh, that's so interesting. That sounds so interesting. And I'm like, oh shit. No, no, no. Oh, hell no. Like, I have never in my lifetime felt so uncomfortable looking at a movie where there was only 3 black women and hundreds of white people. And all at once you can see all 3 of the black women go, oh, what the fuck? So when they start hypnotizing him and he tries to get away and he's downstairs and he's like, babe, get the keys. Give me the keys so I can leave. She pulls out the keys and she's like, yeah, we're not going to let you go. And then the mom does something with their teacup that makes him paralyzed and makes him like sink into this dark place where he can't move in his mind. I was like, oh, run, bitch! And everybody around me was like, oh. So there is me and the Asian people next to me. So I'm petrified. The Asian people next to me are petrified because they're the next closest thing to black. And the other 2 black people are petrified. All the while, the white people on the other side of me are like, oh, I wonder if they tried that. Bitch, I hope they didn't try it. Why the fuck? Do you want me to throat punch you? Like, you're just asking me to just slap you and tell you to shut the fuck up. Anyway, so it goes further and further, and once they brainwash him, they keep showing him these, like, fucking videos that's telling him what's gonna happen, and then they knock him out again, and so they're getting him ready for surgery, and all the while, like, the dad is, like, cutting open the Caucasian guy who's, like, an art dealer that wants this black guy's eye for art. Like, he's a photographer. So all the while they're doing this, like, it's getting more and more gruesome and more scary. And I mean, it's not scary if you're not black. Like looking at this movie. So let's go back and pause. So eventually, before they knock him out the last time to put him into surgery, he asks the question, like, why are you doing this? And what the response was just floored me. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So the response was, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to black people? They were like, oh, because we can. Like, kidnapping a black person and freaking doing illegal surgery and hypnotizing them. It's just, you just get away with it. It's like sneezing. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, fuck no. So it gets further and further and gets more and more twisted. The whole time I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm in total and utter shock. The people around me are like, oh, that's so interesting. I'm like, oh my god. It was like sitting and looking at that movie with the room full of KKK people. They didn't say anything bad. All the remarks were like, oh, I wonder if they did that. That sounds interesting. Could you do that? The whole time I'm looking at them like, bitch, have you lost your mind? I'm like an endangered species here. Like, fuck. So, okay. The movie goes on, and I'm not going to tell you the ending, but the movie goes and it goes off. And so I'm still sitting there petrified and speechless, like just stunned. Like, oh my god. It was a good fucking movie. Scary as fuck because I'm black. And like, Salt Lake City doesn't have many black people in it. So the fact that like so many, like 3 black people and that's so many in one freaking like movie theater went to see it is surprising. So I like walk out the theater still in shock. As I'm walking down the stairs, these old ass men are looking at me like I'm something to eat. I turn around, I'm like, no, don't even think about it. I will fucking cut you. Keep walking. I will cut you. So they turn around and walk out. So I walk out and I am shocked. And I literally let go of the remark of like, I have never felt so uncomfortable looking at a movie surrounded by nothing but white people. And it was about like black people being kidnapped and used as a passenger in their body so white people can steal their attributes. Anyway, so I walked out and I was like, I mean, I love the movie. It was awesome. I walked out and I'm like, I have never felt so uncomfortable in my life. Legit, there was 3 black people. This douchebag, panty waist, college bitch face, walks beside me and has the balls to say, "Don't you know there's only like 4 black people in Utah?" I turned around sarcastic as fuck. I was like, "That is so racist. You know there's 11 of us," and just walked away. But that movie was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. It was bad as fuck, scary as fuck, only because I'm black. And I was surrounded, like, and it was 99% white people. And, like, the 3 of us black people. That shit is scary as fuck if you're black. However, it is hands down such a good movie. You have to see it. I love that movie. If I didn't live in Salt Lake City, where there is, for every 1 black person, there's 150,000 white people, I would see it again. However, you should go and see it. That movie was awesome. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. Have a great evening and go and see Get Out.